Welcome to EvoDrive Official. Rocket in today's video, we reveal the unbelievable water vehicle of 2025, a mind-blowing invention you won't believe exists. From futuristic design to next-level technology, this vehicle is changing the future of transportation forever. Don't miss out on the innovations that are reshaping our world. Subscribe now for more future cars, amazing inventions, and futuristic technology updates from around the globe. The vessel that shouldn't exist. Have you ever heard of a machine so strange, so unbelievable, that engineers swore it could never exist? Well, in 2025, it appeared. A vessel that moves across water without sails, without engines, without even leaving a wake. Some call it science. Others call it a resurrection of something ancient. But what is this water vehicle? And why do some believe it should never have been built in the first place? Stay with me, because what you're about to hear sounds more like legend than reality. A myth reborn. Our story begins not in 2025, but thousands of years ago, in the time of the Roman Empire. Back then, power rested on the sea. Whoever controlled the water ruled the world. Rome built triremes, massive warships, fleets that stretched across the Mediterranean. And yet, among the ruins, archaeologists discovered something strange. Sketches, fragments of writings, not about ordinary ships, but about vessels that seemed to glide above the water itself. At the time, scholars dismissed these scrolls as fantasy, imagination. But were they? Because 2,000 years later, a machine appeared that looked eerily similar. The impossible blueprint. Fast forward to the 21st century. The world's brightest engineers had one common agreement. There are limits to what moves on water. You need displacement. You need drag. You need propulsion. But then, a leaked patent surfaced online. A design so radical, experts called it a hoax. It described a watercraft with no propellers, no turbines, no jet systems. Instead, it seemed to manipulate the water beneath it, bending waves, redirecting force, like riding a road made of liquid. That's impossible, critics said, but they were wrong. First sightings. Early in 2025, fishermen off the coast of Malta reported something unusual. A shape gliding across the horizon. Silent, smooth, too fast for any boat. One witness said it looked like a shadow skating on the sea. At first, nobody believed them, until blurry footage emerged. A massive black figure, moving without wake, leaving the water eerily calm behind it. The internet exploded. Was it military tech, a hoax, or something much stranger? The hidden test. Weeks later, a confidential report leaked. It described a test run, codenamed Project Nereus. According to insiders, the vessel completed a full 200-mile journey without using a drop of fuel. And here's where things get chilling. The test logs claimed the vessel disappeared from radar for 3 full hours, only to reappear hundreds of miles away. Engineers scrambled for answers, but no one could explain what happened. Had the machine found a way to bend not just water, but time itself? A mystery of power. So how does this vessel actually work? Some say it uses quantum field manipulation. Others whisper it taps into hidden ocean currents in ways we barely understand. The official reports silent, but one phrase keeps coming up: engines without fire, no combustion, no turbines, just a quiet hum, like the sea itself is doing the work. And here's the strangest part. The few who've stood near it describe a feeling, a deep vibration, as if the machine is alive. Echoes of Rome. Remember those ancient Roman sketches? Well, some historians claim the resemblance is uncanny. The curved hull, the ridged underside, even the way it seemed to glide without oars. Could it be that this vessel isn't a modern invention at all, but the rediscovery of a design lost to history? If so, how did Rome come so close to building something centuries ahead of its time? And why now, after 2,000 years, does it return? Vanishing records. As interest in the vessel grew, so did secrecy. Websites discussing it vanished overnight. Footage disappeared. Accounts of fishermen and test witnesses were deleted. Even the leaked patent scrubbed. What remained was silence and a single question. If this vessel is so revolutionary, why are the people behind it trying to erase it? A vessel that shouldn't exist. Here's the truth. This machine breaks every rule of naval engineering. It shouldn't float. It shouldn't move. It shouldn't exist. And yet, there it is, gliding silently across the waves of 2025. A machine that might change war, trade, even the balance of global power. Or maybe a machine that was never meant to be seen. But here's the real question. What happened on that test voyage? Where did the vessel go during those missing 3 hours? And why do some believe it didn't just travel across water, but across time itself? That's what we'll uncover in the next chapter. The Forbidden Voyage. So if you think this story is over, think again. Forged in silence, the hidden workshop. Have you ever wondered if the most powerful invention of our time wasn't born in a famous lab, but inside a hidden workshop that nobody was meant to find? In 2025, a water vehicle appeared that experts swore was impossible. No sails, no engines, no fuel, and yet it moved faster than anything before it. But here's the real question. Where did it come from, and who dared to build it? This is the story of the secret place where the vessel was born. A place whispered about in documents and erased from maps. The silence before creation. Our story begins not with noise, but with silence. For years, there were rumors of an engineering group working off the grid. No public funding, no university ties, just private money and an obsession. The obsession to build something that should not exist. Locals in a small Mediterranean town spoke of trucks arriving at night, containers hauled underground, and strange sounds like humming or rushing water coming from beneath the earth. At the time, no one could prove what was happening, but years later, when the vessel surfaced, all eyes turned back to that hidden workshop, the architects of the impossible. So who was behind it? Not a single genius, not a nation, but a group of engineers and scientists who had been dismissed, rejected, told their theories broke the laws of physics. One man, a propulsion expert, claimed water could be bent like air. Another insisted waves could be redirected, creating movement without drag. Both were laughed out of their fields. But in the hidden workshop, they found each other, and together they began to build what no university or military would dare fund. But what they needed most was secrecy, building in the shadows. The workshop itself was a fortress. No signs, no records, just a nondescript building above ground, an abandoned warehouse. Beneath it, a maze of tunnels and chambers, walls lined with soundproofing, labs powered by private generators. Every piece of equipment smuggled in quietly, one shipment at a time. It wasn't just hidden from the world, it was hidden from history, because if anyone discovered what they were making, it could change everything. The strange materials. One of the most puzzling details comes from leaked notes of an early worker. He claimed the team was experimenting with metals that didn't belong, alloys that bent light, materials that repelled water like magnets. Some believe these weren't new metals at all, but ancient ones, recovered from wrecks, or even from Roman sites buried under the sea. How could modern engineers gain access to materials lost for centuries, unless someone or something left them behind? The silence breaks. For almost a decade, the workshop operated without attention. No photos, no press, no evidence. Until one night, a fisherman reported a glow beneath the waves. He said it looked like a silver shadow rising from below. Days later, workers in the nearby town reported their phones mysteriously wiped. Whatever surfaced that night, it wasn't ready to be seen, but the world had caught a glimpse, and the silence of the hidden workshop began to break. The vessel awakens. The first test was never meant to be public, but according to leaked files, the team launched their creation in complete darkness. No spotlights, no noise, just the vessel slipping silently into the sea. It moved unlike anything before it, not through the water, but almost as if the water parted for it. Observers described it as a shadow carving through glass. The sea didn't fight against it. It yielded. This was the moment the impossible became real. Experts in denial. When whispers of the test leaked, experts around the world dismissed it. Impossible, they said. Fabrication. Technology decades away. But the hidden workshop didn't need approval. They didn't care about disbelief. They only cared about proving one thing, that the laws of water could be broken. And when the proof was undeniable, the denial turned into fear. A dangerous secret. Soon after, the workshop vanished. Not physically, its walls still stand today, but every record of its workers erased, names wiped, patents deleted, almost as if the people who built the vessel never existed. Did they vanish by choice, or were they silenced? What we do know is that the vessel remained, forged in silence, born in a place not marked on maps, and unleashed into a world that wasn't ready for it. But the story doesn't end here, because after the vessel left the hidden workshop, something strange happened. During one of its earliest voyages, it disappeared. 3 hours gone, and when it reappeared, it was hundreds of miles away. Some say it was a malfunction. Others believe it slipped into something far more dangerous. That is what we'll uncover in the next chapter, The Forbidden Voyage. So if you think you've seen everything, you haven't seen anything yet. The Leviathan's shadow. In 2025, a shadow appeared on the sea. No flag, no name, no sound. It moved faster than any ship, and yet it left no wake. Some said it was a trick of light. Others whispered it was military tech. But the truth may be far stranger, because this shadow belonged to a vessel that should never have existed, and the story of its birth begins long before 2025. The first sighting. It started off the coast of Crete. Fishermen saw something glide across the horizon. Not a boat, not a submarine, something else. One man said it looked like a leviathan moving beneath the water, only its shadow visible above. When the footage leaked online, people thought it was fake, but when experts tried to explain it, they couldn't. No engine, no propellers, just a dark silhouette moving against the laws of the sea. Why it shouldn't exist. For centuries, naval engineers agreed on one rule: to move through water, you must fight it. Drag, resistance, friction. That's why ships use sails, steam, or fuel. But this vessel broke that rule. It moved as if the water itself wanted it to pass, like the ocean was helping it. Experts swore this was impossible. Physics itself said no, and yet there it was. The shadow in history. What makes this more chilling is that this isn't the first time the shadow has been seen. Ancient Roman writings describe strange vessels that moved without oar or sail. Medieval sailors told tales of sea monsters dragging silent ships across the waves. Legends dismissed as myth. But what if those legends weren't fantasy? What if they were glimpses of the same secret repeating through time? The silent tests. When reports of the shadow reached governments, investigations began. Radar scans, satellite sweeps. But here's the strange part. The vessel barely registered. It seemed to swallow signals. Even at close range, it was almost invisible. Only its outline betrayed it. Leaked reports suggest at least 3 tests were conducted, each one at night, each one without official record. And in every test, the same outcome. The vessel moved in silence, faster than any known ship. The Leviathan name. Sailors gave it a name, the Leviathan's shadow, because to them, it wasn't a machine. It was alive. The way the sea bent around it, the way sound seemed to vanish when it passed. Some even claimed to feel vibrations in their bones, like standing next to something vast and breathing. But if it was alive, what was it feeding on? The vanishing hours. During one trial run, the vessel disappeared from radar for nearly 4 hours. When it reappeared, it was hundreds of miles away. Officials called it a malfunction, but insiders whispered something darker, that the vessel had not only crossed distance, but had slipped into another dimension of time. Impossible, yes, but wasn't the entire machine supposed to be impossible? Experts divided. As the world debated, 2 camps emerged. Some scientists argued it was advanced engineering, a radical new way of moving through water using hidden currents. But others believed it was something much older, not invention, but rediscovery, the unlocking of a design that humanity once knew and then lost, a design perhaps buried with the Roman Empire or deeper. What the shadow means. The Leviathan's shadow is more than a vessel. It's a message, a reminder that the ocean hides more than we understand. And if this machine can travel faster, quieter, and farther than anything before, what will it be used for? Trade, exploration, or war? Because a vessel that cannot be seen, cannot be stopped. But here's the real mystery. Who built it? And where is the workshop that forged this impossible machine? Because hidden deep beneath the earth, far from the sea, lies a place where silence hides creation. That is what we'll uncover next time, in the chapter called Forged in Silence, the Hidden Workshop. So if you thought the shadow itself was strange, wait until you see where it was born.